So I watched the animated one because the live action was a little bit later at night. So yeah, we got 5.
His passion is movies. Ours is wrestling. Right?
That's the way it is.
We got 5 shorts, and one of them I know at least one of you guys have already seen, which is Bow, the one from Pixar.
Oh God, that was so good.
It was good.
Oh my,
It is.
Pixar
good.
movies generally make me cry.
That's the winner.
But that one right there, holy shit!
I don't want to be that guy. I haven't seen the other ones, but man, that's the winner.
I'm like, no, like
that's the fucking winner.
that. Short.
Rick's shaking his head. That's fine. That's
Rick.
to me.
That's
That's
good.
the winner.
It's good.
No, I don't even like that. Do you?
Yeah.
Like that's not even enough credit right
Also,
there. Do you hear that? No,
hold on.
It's
When
good.
I first saw it, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna win
So
too.
since he's being so dismissive, as somebody who has,
But I was in your chair.
as somebody who has children, I'm gonna be completely dismissive of him who doesn't. You obviously don't have children. Obviously.
Yeah,
I
that
obviously
pulls on
don't.
me. That pulls on
and
me
will
too.
never have children.
You don't want
uncle.
Because you don't want to feel the way you felt when you walked out of Bao. That's why you won't have children.
Oh, children are expensive.
That's
a whole other thing.
Give me your bullshit about
But
how
no,
4
Bao,
other movies are better.
Before you get
I
into
liked it. I was in the same seat as you guys.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh, this is fucking great. Like it pulls at the heartstrings. It's amazing.
It's
But
the
then-
best short before Pixar movie that they've
It's
ever
really
shown.
fucking good.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Before you totally get into it though, when you go and do this stuff, you buy a ticket and it's for all the shorts that are nominated. So you're just in the same theater.
Same
It's
theater
back to
and
back
it's
to back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, sir.
They're just inserts to let you know which one's next and where it comes from too. So I'm sitting there. That was the first one they showed. And even the second time I saw it, like, oh, this is gonna win. This is just so good. Then the next one played, and the next one that they played after that was Late Afternoon.
This one you talked to me about?
Yes, this one will break your fucking heart just as much.
Okay.
Give a little synopsis.
Sell us on it. Tell us about it.
It's gonna be hard because we have no idea what it's about. Even if he tells us the
I know,
synopsis, like it's gonna be one of those things where like
Emily, it says right here, Emily is an elderly lady with dementia, and is in, Bryce, read it for me.
So, film synopsis: Emily, an elderly lady with dementia, is increasingly alienated from the world around her. Whenever she sees her reflection, Emily wanders through memories of her childhood and young adulthood, and thereby attempts to use her past to reconnect with the present.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before you say a word, so did you find it online or no?
I wasn't able to find it online.
I will watch it and compare it to Bao, but I will say this probably will pull on me a little bit because my grandma passed away last year on my mom's side, and she had dementia. So you put that in there.
shit's fucking rough, man.
Yeah, you put that in there.
Yeah, two of my grandparents.
Right.
I've been around that also with some of my grandmother's siblings. Like it's rough.
It's
man.
crazy. So you put that in there, and it's probably gonna pull on me because it hits close to home.
My great grandfather, my grandmother's dad, had that at the end, and like all I remember, like, and I'm super blessed to use that term in like a real way, in that shitty internet way, because I know a lot of people don't ever really get to know their great grandparents, but I was able to get to know my great grandfather before that, and then I also saw him with that at a very young age, and that was rough as fuck as a child.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, so it'll probably hit home to me because of that, because she had dementia and it was hard. Like, you know, like I'd see her. She eventually did go to like a memory care facility. That's where she had to be. My grandpa passed away. She went there, and it was tough. Like I'd go there and I'd think like, man, I don't remember like the last like real conversation I had with her. Like she was completely like, she thought she was a little girl, you know, like she didn't know where she was. Sometimes she wouldn't recognize my mom, like her own daughter and stuff. And this makes me think back to like, we did an episode, I don't remember how many years ago, where I don't think it was the point of the episode, but at some point the conversation was directed towards like, what are our worst fears?
That was so I always make a point to talk about our, when you guys went and saw the documentary about Snowden.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talked about stuff like that, and then it was a few weeks after that, maybe even the next week, where we talked about our greatest fears.
So we talked about our fears, and I can remember specifically me being an asshole or trying to
That's
act
a
like
fucking novel.
right. What, me being an asshole?
No.
I
just-
did your
no.
timing twice.
I glanced over.
know,
I don't
it's
even
okay.
know what's up there. I just glanced over and I saw a
But
long
seriously,
post.
do you
I'm
understand?
sorry,
Me
dude.
being an asshole, man,
Come
that's
here,
a
come
novel.
here, come here.
That's fine. It's fine. It's hilarious though. But me being an asshole, of course. But it was real though. You guys asked me like, well, what's your fear? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know that I could pinpoint something. But you gave something, I'm pretty sure. Rick definitely gave something.
Yeah.
But if I had to go back to that and say, hey, this is my fear, I think I'm fucking terrified of getting old, man.
Yeah.
Like that's legit my fear. I always tell people when Rick says stuff like, oh, like fuck, I'm old. Like when we're doing something, it's like, oh, I'm old, or like I could feel it. I'm like, man, it's my thing. I always say this. I'm like, as soon as you put that out there, it's fucking true. Stop it. I'm like, stop saying that stuff. But when I think about this stuff and like, you know, someone getting dementia, seeing my grandma, like, I know you're gonna talk about the short. I don't know what the short's about, but hearing that stuff, I'm afraid of getting old, man. Like like I'm in denial. I've legitimately had moments where people like, I've been hanging out with people. I can remember one time specifically, we were hanging out with you and Alexis and me and Rick. We went over to where Ben was living at the time.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like your cousin?
A cousin, yeah.
A cousin. I remember her and I got into it a little bit, but it was all fine at the end, right? But I remember being there.
Jeez. Somebody who doesn't like their buttons pushed and somebody who perpetually
Yeah.
pushes buttons. I wonder what happened.
Right. So that happened, you know? But it was fine. Like, I had no problem with her. Like, it kind of caught me off guard. But we were there, and it was a lot of Ben's friends and whoever was there. And I remember at some point age came up. And, like, they're, like, saying how old they were. And they're like, oh, I'm this and this age. I'm this and this age. So I said my age. And I legit had to think about it for a second. Like, because I'm one of those people, I'm a heavy believer of age is only a number. Like, big time.
Yeah,
And
for
I've
sure.
legit had moments where people say, how old are you? And I've thought about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I'm like, And so when I said my age to them, they were all, and obviously I felt good about this, but they're like, man, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
I would have thought you were blah, 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 or blah, 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 you know? And so, but I've realized now, like, over time, even though I can't feel like I have, like, this direct fear of, like, you know, in Rick's case, he fears clowns. In your case, I don't remember what your thing was. But
I'm
in
not
my,
even gonna say because I don't want to throw that out there again.
right.
If you want to fucking look it up and
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the time,
But in my
it's
case,
it's in the archives over at someshitwelike.com.
yeah, but in my case at the time I didn't have an answer. But the
Yeah.
more as I've gotten older and the more I think about it, I'm fucking terrified of getting old.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fear. Like it weirds me out.
I can align with you with that.
Yeah, like it
So-
fucking freaks me out.
Also, like here, I'm gonna try and twist that into a positive. See that as a good thing because you've seen a lot of people in your life get old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There are a lot of people, myself included, who have not been afforded the opportunity to see a lot of people in their life that they care about get to that point. So it sucks ass, but like I feel like the last couple of weeks I've been trying to pull positivity out of anywhere. I'm going to pull positivity out of this. Like think about it that way. Like you get to see people get old in advance to where that's something that you feel is a fear. And like there are people in my family, and we've talked about it a couple of times on the show over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, where I've gone with my grandfather back home to New Mexico because we've had a lot of funerals lately, and there are a lot of people that didn't necessarily get the chance to get super old and get past, lucid times, if you will, and it's a thing to fear, but it's also like think about it like I got to see that.
Yeah.
So I understand why that bothers me so much.
Yeah. No, fully, man. Like it's just, I get it because I could take the positive out of it too because I could look at, in some cases, and I hate to like categorize people like this, but in some cases I can look at some people who get old and look at their experience and be like, well, I don't want to be like that.
Right.
I want to be different.
Yeah.
And like that's why I appreciate my girlfriend's grandparents so much. They're in their fucking 80s and they're in Japan. And the lifestyles there is just different, but they still fucking ride their bike to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, her grandfather was picking, like, in Japanese it's ume, and it's basically like a Japanese like plum.
Yeah.
And he has it like he likes plants and stuff.
I like plums.
That's his thing. And so he has a tree there, and he's 80 something years old. I think like either early or mid.
Yeah.
And he's outside on a ladder, barefoot, tippy toes,
picking shit off a tree.
picking the fruit off the tree.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, if I can only be like that at that age. Like, I just think, I don't know, like, but yeah, like, getting old, it freaks me the fuck out. And you talk to people who are older than you, and they say things like, because I say it all the time, like, man, I feel the same way I did when I was 18. I don't feel any different. And they say the same shit. They'll be like, they'll be 60 years old or 70 years old. They'll be like, I feel the same way I did as a teenager.
I feel slightly different, but that's because I spent about 6 years of my life beating the shit out of my body because I liked it.
Right.
But other than that, I don't feel old.
I don't feel.
There are some days where I'll get up and I'll be like, ooh, that time I hyperextended my knee because I thought it would be an awesome thing to do a leg drop off the top rope. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm glad I did that because at that point I was like 19 and I was around amazing people. Like,
you could bounce back a lot easier when you're
I
younger.
could bounce back then, but then it wasn't necessarily about bouncing back. It was about the experience. Like, I was around amazing people like John Cena and Nathan Jones and Matt Morgan who came through and Chavo Guerrero who came through.
Yeah.
And Mike Mizanin who came through.
Yeah, I remember.
And
Brian takes credit for him ever showing up in
and
DPW,
he should.
by the way.
And he should.
Because that, and I remember,
And
full blown.
like, I got to be around these. Maybe if they were assholes, I'd feel differently. But like, I got to be around some amazing people when I thought it would be a fun idea to be a professional wrestler and beat the shit out of my body for 6 years. And like, I got to be around some awesome dudes and like, and ladies. Melina was also someone who came through and was fucking amazing. Victoria came through. Like, just Ivory came through. Like, there was so many rad people I got to be around. So I don't regret any of that. But there are some days when I wake up and I go, ooh, I remember when I hyperextended my knee and didn't do any physical therapy and just went back to wrestling practice the next day like nothing happened and tape it up and go like an idiot.
Yeah.
And you feel that now that I'm 37.
Right.
Rick, 37.
Are you guys both 37 or you're 36?
No, not yet.
You're 36?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
turned
37,
first.
Yeah.
And then you turned 37.
July.
So bottom line,
And then I turned 22.
Is this dementia one gonna win?
Well,
The anime. Okay, the story's great. I don't want to say any more than because that synopsis
Right, of
actually
course, of
dead
course.
on. But the animation is amazing in this. The way it transitions, the way it moves into like her memories, and the way it brings it back to her present day, back in time.
oh, fuck. I could already,
Like,
yeah.
man.
It's.
Kinda
I
right.
cried.
Yeah.
It was hard.
What a
I was-
bitch.
I am. It was fucking hard to watch.
Yeah,
It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
But
I believe it.
okay. If this was a win, Bal's gonna win.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And only because it's a fucking Pixar movie. And I'm not like belittling any of the other
No,
shorts
because
at
Bao
all.
deserves it, though.
Well, no, I'm talking about the other shorts. Like, I'm not belittling them at all
Right,
because
right.
they're amazing animations in the other shorts as well too. But yeah, this one in particular though was just so
Real
good
quick,
story
some
and
levity.
animation wise. Yeah.
Do you remember that episode of South Park, the anime episode with the weapons?
Yes.
Where Cartman thinks he's invisible.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
that's what I was doing. I was going. Sorry.
That's good shit.
Go ahead.
So, but yeah, that was such a powerful thing to watch, and it could have just hit me harder because you've
Thank
been
you.
through that too. We've, watching our grandparents go through
It's
that.
fucking
It's
scary,
hard. It's
man.
scary and it's hard. The next animated short that they showed was Animal Behavior. It's funny. It has to do with like.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
So, animal behavior, the synopsis, a group of 5 animals with emotional... Hold on. Cheesy, I saw what you said in the chat. I will get to it, okay? I don't want you to think we're ignoring you. Go back.
Okay.
So, Animal Behaviour is a group of 5 animals with emotional and psychological problems meets for therapy with compassionate canine Dr. Clement. Their group dynamic is rattled by a new member, Victor, a gorilla with anger management issues who believes that talking cannot change someone's innate tendencies.
So, this was good. The animation's great. It was funny. I enjoyed it. But I mean, it was good. It just for me, I thought it was like
Other ones hit.
I could see why it got nominated,
Right.
and it was well deserved as a nomination.
Okay.
It was great. But yeah. Next, we were talking about that one. One Small Step. That one was also one that I liked as well too.
The synopsis of One Small Step is bolstered by the unwavering support of her devoted father, a humble cobbler. Luna Chu grows up determined to become an astronaut. Although she is sometimes daunted by the obstacles she faces, Luna always shoots for the stars.
Yeah. It's the relationship between father and
Oh no.
the relationship.
That cheers. You want to know? You caught me. You caught me mid sip. Like, oh yeah, cheers, and I got on my pants. It's fine.
Oh,
Oh yes, yes, yes.
it's a relationship between the father and daughter, and how much the daughter wants to, obviously, as he read, wants to be an astronaut, and her struggles to get to where she wants to be.
This is way more piney than the other ones. Is it because we've been drinking sweeter beers?
It's probably changing our palate. Yeah.
Okay.
It's changing our palate.
It's a very sweet animated short.
I'm sorry we're ruining your segment, right?
Yeah.
So that would actually be my number 2.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Broken Wolf.
Oh,
Don't
Wolf,
worry about
Wolf,
being
what's
late.
up, dude?
Sorry I'm late. I'm here. I'm just here watching Al and past elimination chamber matches.
Oh, shit. That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Fuck. Don't worry. We're going to have a break for peeing, and then we're going to talk about video games.
Thank God.
Weekends.
So not weekends synopsis.
Yeah.
Weekends is about after his parents split up, a young boy must adjust to living with his mother during the week and his father during the weekend. Their new what?
It's pretty basic.
Okay, their new routine is difficult on all of the family members, but is especially confusing to the youngster as his parents move on with their lives without each other. Basic? Meaning what? It just seems like typical? That sounds kind of sad when I read the synopsis.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's sad because it's kind of like what currently happens now.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, wait, so where do you rank that? Because honestly, off synopsis alone, I feel like that'd be in the conversation.
Well, it just depends on how it deals with that topic, though.
I guess it does depend.
It could deal with
That's
it, like I
hard.
said about Sorry to Bother You. It could be very ham-fisted about its message, and that can push you off.
Yeah, it's almost kind of
Too heavy-handed?
yeah.
Okay. Because I'll throw another fear at you guys, honestly. Because I feel for the people that go through this. And I think in some ways I fear divorce.
Okay.
Like, I feel for people that, like, have been with somebody for a really long time and maybe they have kids and then they get divorced. And I'm just like, that just sounds like such a fucking mess.
So,
you know what I mean? And, like, I fear that.
Alexis's cousin Ricky. And, like, I hesitate to say Alexis's cousin because, like, we've been together for almost 20 years at this point. And so I've known Ricky that long as well. And, like, when I refer to him, I always refer to him as my cousin as well.
Right.
So he has 2 children. His daughter lives in Denver, though.
Okay.
With her mom. And he gets to see her for, like, extended periods of time. But, like, she comes down for the summer and spends the whole summer here. And then she comes down on Christmas break and spends everything, like the 2.5 weeks or whatever she gets for Christmas break out here. And so, like, I see this. Like,
Yeah.
I only get to see Sam a couple times a year, but, like, Sam is an amazing girl, and she's super creative, and she's into photography and drawing, and she loves comics. And her favorite movie of the year last year was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because she said she felt like she identified with Miles. Like she's one of my favorite people on the planet, and I only get to see her sparingly throughout the year. And she's not my kid. She's someone who I consider family, their kid.
Right.
But yeah, like, That's a rough situation, man.
It's rough.
Yeah.
This is Weekends, right?
Yeah, Weekends.
So,
I want to watch it.
yeah,
I want to watch Weekends, and what was the other one?
The dementia one.
It's covered.
Last
It's covered.
Late afternoon.
Late afternoon. I want to watch it.
Those are the two so far that I
Because
want to see.
it intrigues me.
The animation is good in Weekends.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, they're all good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but like, let's say if it was for me, like, Late Afternoon and One Small Step.
Sam stealthily watches our show, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I hope she sees that I talked about it.
Okay.
Oh. So, yeah, like, if I put them in the steps, Late Afternoon, it's hard to choose between Bow and One Small Step.
Really?
Yeah, because they're both really good.
Okay.
Those are both, because they both have to do with parents.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard. It's like trying to pick a kid. It's hard to
What
choose which one's your favorite.
was One Small Step about?
That's the one you're going to talk about right now, obviously, right?
No, I already talked about it. It's
What?
about the relationship between a father and her
Oh,
daughter.
that one. That
And
you like
her daughter.
You talked about that the least, though, but you said that's the one you like the most?
No,
Yeah,
no,
what's your winner? Gun to
no,
your
I
head.
liked, for me, Gun to My Head would be Late Afternoon.
Okay.
No, but I said One Small Step is is a hard one to pick between that and Bow because like both have to deal with.
I'm not wrong, right? He talked about that one the least.
Yeah, I feel like we barely talked about that one.
Well, I think.
Are we sure we talked about One Small Step? We talked about animal behavior. We talked about Weekends.
Yeah.
This one. He said it was.
Okay,
You
we
said
did.
it. You said it was
A humble
basic.
cobbler.
No, I thought Weekend was.
Oh, okay. You did talk about this one very little, though.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
The synopsis doesn't grab me. I'll
Right.
say that.
I mean,
at all.
as a father of a daughter, I'll watch
The
this.
story is great. The animation, the way it transitions from her like her imagination to
Yeah.
real life, like it kind of almost reminded me. Did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Not yet.
Okay, it kind of reminded me of the beginning of Ant-Man and the Wasp where he's playing with his
I
daughter.
gotta watch that first movie that never came out first.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that,
Okay.
but except it's all her imagination, and
Cool.
you see the transitions between her imagination and what she figures out, what she
So
wants to be
similar,
when she
similar
grows
to
up.
Bao, how it's
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you the big question then. What do you think is gonna win?
Bao.
Ow.
What do you
'Cause
want?
Pixar.
What do you want to win?
Probably this.
Late Afternoon.
Oh, Late Afternoon, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Either that one or One Small Step.
I'm gonna watch Late Afternoon and One Small
So
Step. I'll find them.
so Bao on your ranking system is third.
Third, yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I can see that.
Third, and then
Interesting,
Weekends would be
interesting.
fourth. and then
So having
Holiday.
not seen any of these, I could totally see why Bao is third on his list. Totally.